So here we are again. A new day, a new executive order, new death to something important to most of the population. So now Trump wants to kill the National Endowment for the Arts, because of course he does. Because nothing says make America great again like smothering it in beige and banning crayons. For those of you who don't know, the National Endowment for the Arts is a government agency that helps fund art in America, like real art, not NFTs of Trump's riding a velociraptor shirtless with laser eyes, not CGI AI type of shit, but like real art, music, dance, theater, literature, visual arts, film, even art therapy programs for veterans and children and youth, people with disabilities. The NEA gives grants to schools and museums, libraries, community centers, community theaters, jazz programs, indigenous storytelling collectives, like you name it. And this bloated mango with thumbs is trying to get rid of it. And why? Like, why? Clearly, because Trump doesn't understand art unless it's a limited edition plate set with his goddamn face on it. I mean, this is a man whose idea of the arts is watching The Apprentice reruns in a gold plated row while eating KFC with a fork and a knife. Real classy shit, you know? But like, let's be real. The NEA isn't exactly breaking the budget. We're not talking about some massive Pentagon-sized money pit. The NEA budget is around 180 million. That's less than half the cost of one F-35 fighter jet. One fucking jet. We could fund a nationwide poetry slam tour just by not building a flying death machine that crashes more than a toddler learning to walk. We spend more money every year on military bands, musical bands, than we do the entire NEA. Like, no shade to the tuba section of the Navy, but hey, maybe a child learning to express trauma through watercolor is just as important as playing Stars and Stripes Forever at a fucking weapons expo. So let's talk about what this attack really is. This isn't about cutting waste. This is about cutting joy. It's cutting color. It's cutting soul. You ever notice it's always the things that make life beautiful that Republicans want to cut? Art, books, music, sex, weed. Meanwhile, guns, freedom. Oil subsidies, necessary. Tax breaks for billionaires, trickle down, motherfuckers. But a kid learning how to play the cello in the Bronx, that's socialism. And they always say the same bullshit line. Well, if the arts are so valuable, let the free market fund them. Yeah. You ever try to get the free market to fund experimental shadow puppetry in rural Montana? Or a drag brunch for queer teens in Mississippi? Or a Navajo mural project in Arizona? You think Arizona's going to be like, yeah, we'll take care of that right after we finish union busting and paying our workers in piss bottles? Here's what the NEA does that the free market never will. It funds art that is small, local, weird, risky, healing, experimental, inclusive, and unprofitable in the best fucking ways. It funds plays in prisons, storytelling workshops in homeless shelters, dance classes for kids with disabilities, public murals in neighborhoods where the government usually pretends they don't exist. And yeah, it funds big stuff too, like the Met, the Metropolitan Opera, the American Film Institute, jazz ensembles, symphonies, ballets, and museums that are now most likely to be turned into a crypto startup. So let's talk about what happens if the NEA fully disappears, which is on the chopping block. Imagine an America where only art exists if someone makes something that makes someone rich, where the only music you ever hear is written by AI trained on Kid Rock lyrics, where your kid's school play is Frozen, but all the characters are Chick-fil-A cows singing about tax cuts, where museums are replaced by Tesla showrooms and the Mona Lisa is a deep fake of Melania blinking in Morse code for help. You think things are dumb now? Wait until we defund the people trying to make us feel something that isn't rage or Amazon Prime envy. Art is not a luxury. Art is how we heal. It's how we imagine and dream and how we survive. It's the one goddamn thing in this country that doesn't require a password, a copay, or a fucking QR code to access. Kids in underfunded schools can't afford therapists, but they can pick up a paintbrush. A vet with PTSD might never talk to a shrink, but maybe he writes a play that's therapeutic for him or her or them. A teenager figuring out their identity might not have supportive parents, but they find a queer art collective in their own town funded by the NEA. But sure, let's cut it all. Let's make sure that the only future our kids get is influencer or corpse. See, this is about power. You cut people off from art, you cut them off from dreaming. There's no vibrancy in life without art. And a population that can't dream is a population that can't organize, protest, imagine better, or vote differently. Do you know why authoritarian regimes hate artists? Because artists don't shut the fuck up. They provoke, they expose, they put dictators in drag and make musicals about burning down the fucking White House. You kill the NEA, you're not just saving money, but you're choking dissent. And Trump knows that. His whole career is built on being allergic to critique and immune to taste. So let's be clear. This is not budget reform. It is a war on joy. And once they finish with the NEA, they're going to come for public broadcasting too, like PBS. And then your public libraries and your trans open mic nights and anything else that makes life less like a Walmart parking lot in hell. So let's not let these joyless ghouls win. Let's fund the weird. Let's fight for the murals and the drag queens, the puppets, the jazz, the poems, the mosaics in the bathroom, the underground zines, the violins in trailer parks, and the kids finger painting their goddamn hearts out. Because a country without art, that's just a bank with nukes.